Do you like thrillers? Do you like books that are so good you can't put them down? Are you a fan of Jack Reacher, Mitch Rapp, Jack Ryan? If so, you will love The Day of the Jackal. Forget about the fact that it's 50 years old. This book is action and suspense on steroids. The story is pretty straightforward. It takes place mostly in France in the early 1960s, after Charles de Gaulle had cut Algeria loose. There were a bunch of soreheads who got all cranky at de Gaulle for doing this. They were called the OAS, and they tried several unsuccessful attempts to kill de Gaulle. After the most recent one, they decide they'll hire the finest assassin in the world. The assassin they pick calls himself the Jackal. He's a tall, blonde Englishman, and he knows all kinds of things. He's a master of disguise. He can get false identities. He can get a special rifle made. And of course, he's a SEAL quality sniper. He's absolutely cold-blooded, and he's a meticulous planner. He's also a fan of the finer things in life, and in a way, he's going to remind you a little bit of James Bond, except for the fact that he's a bad guy. You're going to love him. The French government gets wind of the plot and pulls out all the stops to block this assassination. So they've got to hunt for the Jackal, and the guy they put in charge of it is this quiet little detective named Claude Lebel. Now his experience is tracking down murderers after a crime is committed. This time, he's got to catch a murderer before the crime. And the way he mounts the manhunt ends up being about half the book. The story alternates between the Jackal and Lebel. It's so well written, you're really not sure who you're rooting for, whether you're gonna root for the Jackal or for Lebel. And there's so much plausible detail in it, you feel like you're reading nonfiction, except that it goes at 90 miles an hour. I mean, this thing is super well paced, you can't put it down. I'm a huge fan of Lee Child, C.J. Box, John Sanford, and a bunch of other writers. And I'm still recommending this book 50 years after it was first published. Give it a try. It's a regular guy kind of book, and I guarantee, absolutely guarantee, you won't be disappointed.